Well, good morning. Today is Wednesday, May the 20th, and welcome to Wise Words from Waldo. It amazes me how many people who know little about the Bible often quote a phrase or verse of it to get their point across. For example, someone was once asked if they thought polygamy was wrong. His answer was, yes, because the Bible says so. Knowing the man knew very little about the Bible and wasn't religious at all, they asked him, really? And what does it say in the Bible about that? His answer was, no one can serve two masters. Well, I guess that's taking a verse out of context, and people have been doing it for centuries. In Matthew chapter 7, Jesus taught about judging. One of the things that people often say is, you can't judge me. But Jesus told us that we're first supposed to remove the beam in our eye before we worry about the tiny speck in someone else's eye. Let me give you a couple modern day parables about criticism. The colonel was doing an inspection on the soldiers who were just out of boot camp. He was known for being very tough. He came to a soldier and he snapped, "Button that pocket, soldier." At full attention, the soldier responded, "Right now, sir?" And he snapped back, "Yes, right now." The soldier reached out and buttoned the colonel's pocket. Yeah, it's easy to see the faults in others. Here's another one. A man known to be a know-it-all about everything noticed a crowd of people outside a taxidermist window one day. They were admiring a large owl in the shop. Sure, he was an expert about everything, and he knew it all. He entered the crowd. He found himself saying, "Why, the pose of that body is awkward. The feathers are not right. The feet are crooked. And those glass eyes are of the poorest quality I've ever seen." Just then, the owl turned its head and blinked its eyes, and the crowd roared with laughter. You see, Jesus had a name for the critic who doesn't examine their own life first. Hypocrite. The faults of others are always very obvious to us. We often overlook our own faults. You know, it seems like we're allowed to have excuses for our faults, but nobody else is allowed to have excuses for theirs. So here's my challenge for you today. I will focus on my accountability before God. And if I'm tempted to point out someone else's fault, I'll pause and I'll ask God, is there anything in my life that I need to change? Will you join me? Now stop and think about that.